Hello, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Freeman, and this is Freeman's Money. And today we're going to be talking about discipline and why it's so important for you to help grow your finances. And just in life, discipline is a very useful skill. Now, one thing people always get wrong is they say I'm not disciplined, or well, my family's didn't teach me how to be disciplined. Discipline is something, it's not genetic, it's not passed on through families. It's all based on you. When you decide you're not going to work out, when you decide you're not going to budget, when you decide all of these things, that you might have 100 reasons to do something else, but that is your choice. So discipline is something that's very important to building your financial future, and it's because you've got to stick to your plan and you've got to put in the time. Nobody wants to do their monthly budget. Nobody wants to review their spending and see, oh, where did I get this? And there's tons of things that once you have a little bit of extra money, it takes discipline to not spend that money and just go shopping, or hey, I want to do this. Boom. I don't feel like cooking. Why don't we get Domino's? Boom. And it's these little price tags that will chip away your financial future. But discipline is absolutely important. And if you don't have discipline, you gotta learn how to trick yourself and train yourself to do it. So, for example, I don't like reading, but I love learning new things. So, when I was younger, I would watch a ton of videos and stuff like that. And then I learned that I was listening to people's interpretation of what I actually wanted to hear. And I was like, well, I want to hear from Carl Jung. I like Carl Jung. I like the things he says. But then when I listen to people, they're always giving me their interpretations or the little twist on it. So I'm like, okay, I can't do that. And Carl Jung's passed away. So I'm just going to go read his book. And I hate reading. So when I would read his book, I'd be like, oh, that's so interesting. I love reading this. I'm going to put it down. Let me think on it a little bit. And I just wouldn't go back to it. So what I would start doing is I would put money as a bookmarker. And I would say, okay, when I finish this book, I can spend this amount of I can spend this bill on whatever I want. And based off the size of the book, I would put in how much money. That was my way of improving my hey, bribing myself so I can actually do it, so I can stay disciplined to it. And then I developed the habit of okay, I'm going to read once a day, at least one chapter a day, and that's what I do. That's my system. But I needed to bribe myself earlier on to become more disciplined, to start, just to get going. And once you still get going, it starts to pile on where it's just okay, all right, so I started here. I want to get to here, but you're only moving in steps like this. But eventually you get up there, and now I'm okay, this is easy now. But at the beginning, I didn't want to read books. I still, to this day, I have to set aside time to do it because it's not something I genuinely want to do. But that's where discipline comes in. Knowing who you are and what you need to do. So whether it's working out, reading, studying, doing your monthly planning of your monthly budget, it takes discipline to want to do it because it's not fun. It's not exciting. Nobody's going to give you props for doing it. Nobody's like, oh my goodness, good job, you worked out today. No one's going to tell you that 365 days. They might tell you every once in a while, oh wow, you look good now, blah, blah, blah. But you got to discipline yourself to do the things that nobody's going to reward you for. Whether, like I've said, reading books, gym, whatever. Anyways, that's my recommendation. Practice discipline. Learn how to discipline yourself. It is a lifelong skill, and once you learn discipline, it just makes everything so much easier. If you learned something from this video, or you like the content, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you here next time.